They say family is everything. But no one tells you that family can be the first place where you learn betrayal. Without enemies. I was standing in front of my mirror that morning. Perfect hair, tailored coat, gold earrings catching the light. Looking like a woman who had everything under control. But behind that reflection was a woman about to lose her place at the very table she helped build. You see, my family didn't push me out suddenly. They smiled first. They praised me first. They let me believe I was still loved. And then, quietly, politely, legally, they erased me. This is not a story about poverty. This is not a story about jealousy. This is a story about power. And what blood is willing to do to keep it. Welcome to my channel. Through this channel we can stay connected each other, so like and subscribe my channel. Now let's move on to the story. My name is Amara Kinsley. I am the kind of woman people notice when I enter a room. Not because I try too hard, but because I never do. I dress well. I speak softly. I listen more than I talk. In my family, I was the reliable one. The problem with being reliable is that people forget you also have limits. My father built a successful real estate empire. Not alone. He built it on the unpaid emotional labor of my mother. And the silent sacrifices of me. Family meetings were always held at his house. Long table. Leather chairs. Everyone pretending respect was equal. But even as a child, I could tell some voices mattered more. There was my father, Elias Kinsley. A man who believed authority was love. My stepmother, Vivian. Elegant, calculating, never raising her voice. My younger half-brother, Lucas. Charming, careless, protected. And then there was me. The daughter who handled contracts. The daughter who cleaned messes. The daughter who stayed quiet. I didn't inherit power. I earned proximity to it. And that was my mistake. It started with a meeting I wasn't invited to. I noticed it in the silence first. Emails stopped copying me. Decisions were announced, not discussed. When I finally asked, they said I was overthinking. Family politics are never loud. They are surgical. Vivian began suggesting changes. Lucas began appearing in meetings he didn't understand. And my father began looking past me. I realized then my usefulness had an expiration date. I didn't panic. I wore my best suits. I showed up early. I smiled harder. Because women like me are taught that dignity is protection. But dignity doesn't stop knives when they come from behind. The day I was removed was the day they praised me the most. They called me strong, independent, free to pursue my own life. I signed papers that handed my work to people who never valued it. And I smiled. Because in powerful families, emotions are weaknesses used against you later. I went home alone. Removed my heels. Sat in silence. I wasn't grieving money. I was grieving belonging. Family politics don't hurt because you lose power. They hurt because you realize you were never safe. Something changed in me. Not anger. Clarity. I stopped chasing validation. I stopped explaining my worth. I watched. And powerful people hate being watched. By someone they underestimated. Lucas failed where I succeeded. Vivian grew impatient. My father grew tired. Power structures collapse when competence leaves. And suddenly, they needed me again. They offered me a seat back at the table. But I was no longer hungry. I realized something important. Family politics only win when you keep begging for inclusion. I chose peace over position. Today, I still dress well. Still walk with confidence. But now, my power doesn't depend on a family name. Blood may be thick, but self-respect is thicker.